So I'd like to start by wishing everyone a Tashi Delek. I don't know much, but I am very happy that I can practice with all of you on this 1-year anniversary.
Gyatrul Rinpoche gongso la lo chike
So you already know, but this gathering is very different than other gatherings. This is a very important and sacred occasion on the 1-year anniversary of Venerable Gyatrul Rinpoche's Parinirvana. So I really don't have anything to say, but they were really pushing me to teach, so I guess I will say something.
Okay. Mi yakpo inanda, sangbo inanda, tene cheba inanda, cheba yakpo inanda, nyamne yanke inanda, menke inanda, tamje tene pe shigo te chikpare esa.
Chi wake up to? When we're dying. And so, no matter who we are, whether we are a very good person, whether we are a Dharma practitioner, whether we have a lot of experience or not, when we are dying, we're all the same. It's so important that when we pass away, we are without regret, that we have shown kindness to ourselves in this way. Is that right? Jopa mepa? Regret? Is it? Okay. It's important that we die with no regrets.
Tene yul pe mise ta tomjer chimbo tende nang tene pe soa ke de sonzan tene pe mise kawa sambore ese.
When we are reborn, or just now here, Danta. And so we are very fortunate to have met a very profound Dharma and very high and sacred teachers, and to live in a very fortunate place and country.
Powerful country.
Powerful country.
Inaya ta shite tunzo tende yamarese pe zo rangi pe ti karsa rangi tene mana tana nyamsu nyamko ga yarese.
Rangi nyamsu. Rangi nyam. But all of these are not really stable. We can't depend on them. The main thing is our own practice or our own experience when we pass away.
Tende songzan tene ta chu ti chiela tene ta ke namba tsama pe karsa kore ta tusam chene pe misike kawa sangbo chung yores tingla ten tanda chung simbares Pala Junga Yore, the Diana Tanzo, Tamze, Cambo Nimbo, the Nyaman Chukures.
So this means that we must practice the Dharma. And all of you have been extremely fortunate to have many opportunities to hear and contemplate the Dharma. And of course, this will benefit you, and in the future you can continue this. But really, the essence of Dharma practice is to actually practice our own practice. That's a attachment to our habits of this life. So, when we practice Dharma, the main thing we are working with is our attachment to our habits of this life. If we aren't able to give up our habits or habitual tendencies, then whatever Dharma that we do, it won't be of much benefit to us. Of course, we will be able to accumulate a little merit, but we won't truly be able to change the course of our mind streams or to achieve a state of awakening in one life. Shingche is a great, like, feel. Then what was that? Sorry.
Place and that's pure land.
And so that is why Gyatrul Rinpoche was demonstrating to us impermanence and showing that he changed places. He went to the Pure Land or changed his experience. So as an example to us.
Gyatrul Rinpoche pe manzo shal shuk de yambo hamagora mata te unatin zokchen ke pe nenjaba be samji mechaba imbatena nganzo songbanka hakosare sangkongba zokde.
When Gyatrul Rinpoche passed into Parinirvana, it really became evident that he was a true Ati Yoga Dzogchen yogi, inconceivable yogi.
Yinayang tene kongi kulute jenanda chukuka nambatsu shantente tene nganzo ta chukurka meke ten jega yomarese. Kulu jena sukuka nambatapa chukuka jesonga tene nganzo chukurka meke tongchika yomarese.
And so it seems he left his body, but what really happened was his form kaya became the Dharma kaya. So he just changed forms in that way. And that's not something that we can see with our ordinary eyes, but it is very much evident as the truth of things, what really happened. So if we really want to understand this, we have to develop wisdom eyes. And how to do that is if we practice.
mentor dipjung dosum tanzo so chine tene nyamne pe yakpu chegorese.
If we want to speak of how to practice, well, we must practice the four thoughts that turn the mind. We must practice the stages of the preliminaries: refuge, bodhicitta, mandala offering, purifying obscurations with vajrasattva practice. And so all of these we should really emphasize and focus on.
Tigi tanzo drupeke tigi nyingbo de so sa driba tabe nyingbo tene lamen nenjol pe ranga simla karse tanga mepa teba tempo ngana tene lamen nenjol sa korese.
And so the essence of accumulating merit and purifying obscurations, the essence of all these stages is the Guru Yoga practice. And so in the Guru Yoga practice, we have to focus without doubt and with faith and devotion. So when the Lama goes into Parinirvana, it's very important. We shouldn't worry that we've lost something, because actually even more than before, he is holding his students with his great compassion and wisdom and loving kindness. Oh, it won't make it better? Worry won't go away. It doesn't really make you feel better. Or And so if we have this worry, anxiety or sadness that the Lama has left us, then me just saying, oh, the Lama is still there. I can say that very nicely with my mouth. You shouldn't worry when your Lama passes away. But that may not really help. That may not really make a difference. The only thing that will really dispel that worry or anxiety upon losing our guru is one's own practice, one's own experience, and one's own view, and the effects, the development of the Dharma in one's own mind. And if we have that, then our anxieties and worries will naturally be dispelled. So through the blessings of one's own meditation, then these things will naturally be dispelled. Disappear. They will disappear. That's so. If they're not disappearing, then you're not practicing well.
Yeah, that is not a joke. That's true. Tindes on the bay. Tonda Sawati, that true. Chignam Chikugures. Jen and Manjan and Rang. Simti Lama the Yenmeva. 2 years to watch in the Tindichin. One Jilena saw a tabne. That should the Yapul Trupsona. Then it Ramchin Katanza Tamze.
So the most important thing is really our own Dharma practice, and we have to understand that the Guru is inseparable from the nature of our own mind. Whether we are able to meet with the Guru physically or not, we should cultivate great faith and devotion and supplicate from the bottom of our hearts and practice Dharma well. And then naturally, those kinds of worries and anxieties and sadness will be dispelled.
Tende yungu yawa pe ngosunga ranga yambo tepa tembo chen drup tende yungu yawa tende pe lurji mangbo yorese.
Oh, there are many stories of this happening. So there are many stories and histories about even if a student's root guru has passed away many years ago, but if they have great faith and devotion and they have the strength of their practice, they may directly see their guru or have experiences of their guru's presence.
Tene longchen pinga song tenzhen jene, tene pe tepa jene ta, one che ten denpa ina nga sendele pe longchen pan jene ka dhuba chikin sende kong, ten dhuba nyamne che reese.
For example, the great Vidyadhara Jigme Lingpa, his greatest lineage lama was Longchenpa, and he didn't see Longchenpa. Longchenpa was 2 or 300 years before Jigme Lingpa lived. Lhasa. But his Longchenpa's teachings, read his teachings so much. He had such great faith. Then a Longchenpa ngosu jalsonge? Lhasa. 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 And so he had such great faith in Longchenpa, and he read his writings and he practiced the Dharma according to those instructions, that eventually he actually directly saw Longchenpa out of that confidence. He had confidence that if I study and I practice and I have great faith, I will meet with this teacher, and he did. And so I think maybe 3 times he actually directly saw Longchenpa. Longchenpa appeared in a magical wisdom body and gave him all of the teachings. He received all of the blessings and became a lineage holder of the Longchen Nyingtik in that way. I missed that.
Srinjong is this in Jingmelingba's dance are this. Before they have their Srinjong there. And Ane, Nari, Nan. Then they called him just a nickname, Nan, so what's honor? I don't know.
I'm still not getting it. Something about Jigme Lingpa's, where he lived, his region was called Seringjong. And then there was one nun who lived there, or many nuns. Mm-hmm. Nunnery. The nun's owner. They called him that. So the point is really that if we have a sense of what is if the essence of Dharma, we try our best to accomplish that. And if we really do that with confidence, with unwavering certainty and trust that we can really get there, then we can become like Jigme Lingpa or like Milarepa or like the great masters who had such trust and confidence, and they focused so single-pointedly on the Dharma that they became very accomplished in a short period of time. So all of the Buddhas and all of the great accomplished masters, where did their qualities come from? It came from only from practicing the Dharma. When you practice the Dharma, then you develop these qualities and you become an accomplished master. And so all of you have obtained the essence of not just one human life, but of many, many human lives. This is like the culmination to receive and to connect with these kinds of Dharma. And so then what we must do with this is to accomplish it.
Idam kandre chikla tenaya Guru Rinpoche tenanda Jitendrima tenanda Purva tenanda ta karse Dorje simba tenanda ta tenda kare tenaya tene chepar tsanaya mara rangi tene tepada mova mungi lentro Kam yawa tii chu tila sawa tabne tene drup gore se te chu mangpo tamze drup tuk mare te chu chik nangla tsama tsangde yo samba chena simba ka tenda tak chena tene drup gore se.
And so the particular deity that we practice is not so important. Really, you can rely on any Yidam deity. You can rely on Guru Rinpoche or Tara or Vajrakalaya, Vajrasattva, any deity that you choose to practice. There's no difference between them. They are all fully awakened Buddhas. But what you must do is really cultivate your own faith, and you must understand that you are practicing on the deity that you have a karmic connection to from past lives. And so you visualize and you learn the qualities of the deity as best you can, and then you practice and you accomplish it. So there's no way that we could accomplish all of the deities or all of the Dharma practices. We must understand that in one Dharma practice, all of these are complete. So we have to have total confidence that that is the case, and then practice.
Gang yinaya sikpa chikyangre ta tinyana tsana yewa tsana che yomaras ta dorje samba yinpa na ndrandare tene ta terche yinpa na ndrandare gyupa pe dinjum yinpa na maya yinpa na tamche ndrandare tenda sanda gang chinaya tetsum tsana gomare tetsum te dire parche re se
So right now we are practicing Vajrasattva from the lineage of the Terten Kunzang Nyima. And from what I have heard, this is a practice that would greatly please Venerable Gyatrul Rinpoche, and that he encouraged students to do. And so, so this Vajrasattva practice is wonderful, but it's really the same as any other Vajrasattva practice, such as the one from Dorje Tersar. We have to understand that all of Vajrasattva practices are the same. They have the same qualities. And so we should be careful not to think that there are big differences or that one is more special than the other. And actually, if you look at Dorje Tersar, the treasures that come from Digdral Yeshe Dorje, compared to this, the Kunzang Nima, they really have the same lineage. Both of those great masters, treasure revealers, were emanations of Dorje Lingpa. And so really it's all the same. It's all the same blessing. It's all coming from the same treasure revealers and the same source. So it's very important that we cultivate this attitude of having no doubt, having total confidence in what we are doing, and not making a lot of differences in our minds between the different practices. There's one line in the confession prayer that says that we confess having acceptance and rejection of different practices or different sadhanas. So the idea that one practice is better than the other, or that we would take up one practice or give up another practice, this is a fault. This is a big mistake. And it's obviously right there in the confession prayer being confessed. And so we have to be aware of this.
Sadhana sadhana ngapchu tukchu jasa tenda gogres tende kale kapores tele koran sopala koran timyore sopa koran kare ndengona tele chegore ran soso kapsa tene nyamne kagare sarang nyamne chegore.
And so if we had to do every person's practice, right, like Shashi or Scott or Lama Drime, if we had to do each of those different ones, if we have to make available, like at the Dharma Center, everybody's individual practice, then we might need 50 or 60 different practices. That would be a lot. And so instead of that, when we gather as a group, then we all have to choose to do one practice together, and so then we all instead of focusing on our own individual ones, we all come together and focus on one practice, and that creates a particular opportunity for us to practice. The most important thing when we gather to practice as a group is that we have harmony between sangha members, and also that we try to have pure view of our gathering. If we can have pure view about all of our companions in this life, then when we reach the bardo, we will have that habit, and it will be easier. If we don't practice having that kind of pure view and equanimity in this life, then when we reach the state, pure, if we don't have pure samaya, then when we reach the bardo, the intermediate state, when different kinds of appearances, like wrathful appearances, arise, we won't recognize them. We will not recognize the. When our yidam practice arises to us in the bardo, we won't recognize it. It's like a drunk man who sees everything blurry in a blurry way. Our experience of the yidam deity in the bardo will be very blurry, and we won't understand it. And this is described in the texts, that we have to be able to see with wisdom sight.
That I didn't make up that in the text they are teaching.
In the text it says that we won't be able to see our deity clearly if we don't have pure samaya. Okay.
And then Jamsen Tinjun Rinpoche, the sadhana tanzaka lin echik, nanglayantan tamsi zangse, tamsi te pe zowo chen song yores.
In the sadhanas of His Holiness Dorje Rinpoche, it talks about the importance of lineage and pure samaya in this way.
Tamsi zang lamji kekla troll se tamsi te zangmayana, rubanyamne chela obstacle yamares, ten song yores.
His Holiness Dorje Rinpoche says that if we have pure samaya, then we will not have obstacles to our practice.
Tamsi tsangma chi tene tigan kamla tene tepa tangma nyingje chene tene ngomna tsundri chenkogres.
And so, according to this teaching, then, it is very important to have faith and to have pure view, to have compassion, and then to have diligence or enthusiasm in the practice. And so I'm explaining this, but I understand that all of you, of course, already know this. Engaging. Oh, not engaging with it. So we know these things, but we are not applying them. We have to actually apply them, engage with them.
Operation take a cutting kenta pe sabsab chigiyos lagne tar duptan. I also have to attend to these points very carefully and have diligence with these points. And so I myself practice. And so I really realized I need to be diligent with this after I had an operation and kind of gained a new fear of death. And so then I realized I really have to be diligent in these things as well. And so really nothing is certain. We don't know who will be here, still be here next year. It's just uncertain. Life is uncertain. And so we should always think to ourselves,
oh, our time may be short, our time may be long. We have to remind ourselves that we really have a fleeting chance to practice Dharma, and we have to always be refreshing this idea in our minds. So our time is very short and it's very quickly passing. If you just look at 1 year has gone by now, it's hard to just imagine how quickly time is passing.
Lama la sowa ta mugi che chudok la tangnang simchen la nyingche tene che rangi sopa gom nyamne la tsundri che te opinion sikdwa te karsikare te papa che sa te shuk chenpo maji te sopri che tene chenko kores.
And so I'm really encouraging all of you, please, to supplicate your gurus and to try your best to have pure view about your Dharma brothers and sisters, to cultivate compassion and loving kindness for sentient beings, and to cultivate patience and forbearance, and to practice great enthusiasm for the Dharma. And also try not to have such strong opinions. Try to make your opinions more soft and more gentle.
Tendeche karenche ta timado che rivela tenta timado che shin tsundri che soba gomya te pe kechembores che lapso.
So please consider these points, and especially please have great enthusiasm and diligence in your Dharma practice, and it is so important to practice patience.
Tenende sopala ta Gyatrul Rinpoche sinje lokse chena karsa lage se segmende ta ti yana ta lakje ndawre kung tine ti injuk jungen te loma tsores tende songzen ta Rinpoche ke chuzo solaya tena pe karse tane shepje kang tup shu
And it's very important that we do our best to engage with Venerable Gyatrul Rinpoche's blessings and his enlightened activity, to appreciate and celebrate everything that he established and what he did, and also to take care of the Dharma centers, to serve his Dharma centers and his Dharma legacy.
Ndro shakayore se lo jaga nangla pense ndro shakare se tsangla ta ina yang tene de chuzo ti de shakare se ta tende songza ti ki chuzo la shabji shuwe gewa ti min tene yore se sonam ti tende songza chuzo la shabji shuwe ten ke chembore se.
So in 100 years, all of us will be gone, but the Dharma centers will still be here. And so we really have to do our best to take care of these centers and preserve these centers. And it's a very special kind of merit to serve and take care of the Dharma centers.
Lama sarwa yongen tsala khunza opportunity sikda koka pe sangbore se chechesa chuzo tanda pe mesi karsa kadin chembore se shen su gewala jureke te karsakur lamda wote pe mesi yampo yore se tende songzantina kadin che tende nangra che se.
And these Dharma centers will be present and allowing for new opportunities for lamas and students for many years to come. And so it is really a great kindness to preserve and take care of these Dharma centers. And the activity of supporting the centers should really be taken as the path, as part of our own spiritual path.
Lama sekente, tende lama shuk dite tige, loma, ten tsundri chene rangi chu drup, tende chene ten, til yang til lama de lama cha tene ti yang tene lama sarva tandal sam minji ge jesu kyong na chu she tene ji tene ya lama cha ro ma da ji te ze pe cha ta ne chi chen ka ne she da chi bo ge lama cha ka ma re sa ka san lama se gen til te pa che ge lama che ko na tene lama tela lama ge ju la tene 참다 닌제 대바게 된대게 되네 가서 네바 거기 열어서 티 네바데 랑그 드나 마도제 탑신 가요 말았어.
And so, when a lama passes away, then the students, they have to train with the older students. Then the older students are slowly becoming the lama if they practice really nicely. Then the older students become the lama, and then they are able to train the newer students if they really have an attitude of kindness and love and wishing to help. And so for that practice to happen, then everyone really has to practice the Dharma. Someone can't just be called the name Lama. They have to be worthy of other people's trust and respect or faith. And so they, in order to become like that, the only thing to do is to really practice and accomplish the Dharma. And so if this happens, then slowly, slowly, the older students will become lamas, and they'll have the ability to help the newer students. And then when they are gone, the newer students will have become the older students, they'll become lamas, and like that. The lineage is passed along. But the whole thing only works if everyone is really, truly practicing the Dharma from their heart and cultivating an attitude of faith and an attitude of loving kindness.
Lama Gyatrul Rinpoche Lama Nyingba Tamche Kamba Pe Sangju Samba Sima Tene Pe Ishi Ke Chenda Tempe Lama Tende Yuan Ke Rawa Chimbo Yose.
And so my hope is that all of Venerable Gyatrul Rinpoche's older, more experienced students would practice really well, and then they could become male and female bodhisattvas who have wisdom to benefit others.
And wisdom holders.
And wisdom holders. Bodhisattvas and wisdom holders.
Okay, that's my gossip.
That's my gossip.